Midnight. The house is quiet. Everyone is asleep. The only light in the room is a small blue glow. A phone screen. Your face is illuminated. Your heart beats faster. Your thumb scrolls. Click. Another image. Another video. Another promise of pleasure. And for a moment, you feel alive. But seconds later, the guilt arrives. Heavy, cold, silent. You whisper, "God, I'll stop tomorrow." But tomorrow comes, and the cycle repeats. This is how bondage begins. Not with chains on your hands, but with chains on your mind. Tonight, we expose the truth. Not culture's truth, not internet opinions, but the truth written in the Bible. Because what society calls entertainment, Scripture calls destruction, and what looks harmless may be quietly killing your soul. Pornography is the most consumed content on earth. More than movies, more than sports, more than music. But hear what makes it terrifying. It hides. No smell, no smoke, no visible scars. Yet entire destinies collapse because of it. Marriages break, ministries fall, confidence dies, faith weakens, and nobody sees it happening. Because this is a private war, fought in silence, behind closed doors, behind locked phones, behind smiling faces at church. You can sing worship songs and still be secretly enslaved. You can preach sermons and still feel dirty inside. You can love God and still feel trapped. And that contradiction tears the soul apart. Most people think lust is just attraction, but Scripture defines it differently. Lust is desire that refuses God's boundaries. It is hunger without discipline, fire without control. And when desire rules you, it becomes a master. In the teachings of Jesus recorded in Matthew, he says, "If you look at someone with lust, you have already committed adultery in your heart." Notice that. Not action. Looking. Meaning sin begins in the imagination. Before the body moves, the mind already fell. Porn trains the mind to live in that fall permanently. You're not just watching sin. You're rehearsing it internally. Over and over and over until your brain cannot tell fantasy from reality. Let's slow down and get clinical for a moment. When you watch porn, your brain releases dopamine. Huge amounts. More than normal life produces. Your brain records. This is survival-level pleasure. So it says, repeat this. But hear the trap. The second time gives less pleasure. So you search for more extreme content. More graphic. More shocking. More taboo. Because tolerance grows. That's how addiction forms. This isn't just spiritual language. This is neurology. But what science discovered recently? Scripture warned thousands of years ago. In James it says, "Desire gives birth to sin, and sin gives birth to death." Birth, growth, death. That's addiction's life cycle. Exactly. Now we go deeper. Because porn doesn't just harm the brain. It harms the spirit. After repeated exposure, many people notice. Prayer feels empty. Worship feels fake. Confidence disappears. You avoid eye contact. You feel unworthy. Not because God rejected you, but because shame clouds you. Shame whispers, "Don't pray, you're dirty. Don't worship, you're fake. Don't serve, you're a hypocrite." And slowly, Distance grows between you and God. That's the real danger. Not the video. The separation. Sin always separates. Always. Porn promises intimacy without commitment. Pleasure without responsibility. Connection without sacrifice. But that's not love. It's consumption. It teaches you to use people, not cherish them. To take, not give. So when real relationships come, they feel difficult. Because real love requires patience. Real love requires effort. Porn rewires you to want instant gratification. And that destroys marriages before they even begin. History is full of strong people who collapsed because of lust. Leaders, kings, prophets, people gifted by God. One unguarded moment, and everything changed. Because sexual sin bypasses logic. It shuts off wisdom. It blinds judgment. Even the strongest fall if they flirt with temptation. That's why Scripture doesn't say fight lust. It says run, flee, escape. Don't negotiate. Don't argue. Run like your life depends on it. Because it does. Let's pause. Be honest. Do you hide tabs? Delete history. Promise to stop but repeat. Feel lonely afterward. Feel spiritually weak. Avoid God after failing. Those are not habits. Those are chains. And chains don't break with wishes. They break with war. Now the light. Not motivational talk. Not try harder. Real practical freedom. Step by step. Confess. Expose it. Darkness dies in light. Remove access. Delete apps. Install blockers. Change environment. Renew your mind. Daily scripture. Daily prayer. Replace images with truth. Fasting. Train discipline. Teach your body obedience. Exercise. Move your body. Release healthy dopamine. Community. Accountability partners. No isolation. Purpose. Build something meaningful. Idleness feeds lust. Prayer. Not begging, fighting, declaring freedom. Forgive yourself. Condemnation keeps you stuck. Grace empowers change. Freedom is consistency, not one moment. Morning light enters the room. The phone is face down. You breathe. Free. No shame. No hiding. Just peace. The same hands that once scrolled in darkness now lift in prayer. Because freedom isn't fantasy. It's possible. And it begins with one decision. I choose light. Turn off the screen. Turn toward God. Walk out of the prison. And never go back.